Call this meeting to order Tuesday, May 17th, 2022, 7:04 p.m. City of Somerton regular council meeting. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor Gerardo Anaya.
Present.
Vice Mayor Miguel Villalpando.
Present.
Councilmember Luis Galindo. Councilmember Jesus Roldan.
Present.
Councilmember Martha Garcia.
Present.
Councilmember Juan Castillo. Councilmember Lorena Sendejas.
Yeah, she said she wasn't. Oh, she used to be let in. I don't know.
No, it should be the same number. Councilmember Lorena Sendejas.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Moving on, call to the public. Anybody from the public wishing to address council? There's no one. Sure. Moving on to consent agenda. Check register for the month of April 2022. Does any member of council want to remove this item from consent agenda? Is there a motion? So moved. Second by Vice Mayor Villalpando, second by Councilman Roldan. Those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We have one presentation on the new sanitation rate study by Wildan Financial Services.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Dan Jackson, Vice President of Wildan Financial Services. I am the city's longtime water, wastewater, and sanitation rate consultant. Here for you tonight to follow up on a presentation I made last month regarding the City of Somerton's long-term sanitation rate plan. We did an original presentation where we recommended that the city implement a series of rate adjustments to ensure that the sanitation fund will recover enough revenues to cover all of its costs. What's notable about the rate plan is that it implements the first rate adjustments to your city's sanitation rates in almost 13 years, which is virtually unprecedented here in the state of Arizona. It's very rare for a city to go such a long period of time without adjusting utility fees like sanitation rates. But unfortunately, you can't repeal the laws of economics. And sooner or later, the combination of cost increases and the need to replace trucks makes it inevitable that you're going to have to do some sort of nominal adjustment to your rate plan. We recommended a plan for you, and we received some very good feedback from council and from senior staff. Some of the feedback involved reviewing some of the capital improvement needs to see if some reductions could be made to minimize the need for rate increases among the citizens. And so we've got a revised presentation here for you that puts all those, that addresses all of those revisions and presents to you a revised rate plan. I'm just going to go through a couple of very quick slides here. This first slide right here is just a summary of your current rate structure for your sanitation customers. The vast majority of your customers are residential. They pay a fixed rate of $16.33 a month, and they get 2 pickups a week. And that's actually notable because many cities in Arizona are going to 1 pickup a week. But here in the city of Somerton, we're continuing to provide a better level of service, or twice a week. Do I have the ability to change this, or if you could? As you can see, your monthly fee compares very favorably to what other cities here in Arizona are charging for monthly service. This chart right here compares the residential monthly fee in Somerton to selected other cities here in the border area and in other regions of the state. You've got one of the lowest rates around. I mean, you're a tad higher than Tombstone and Yuma, although less than $1 higher than them, but you're at or below most of the other cities in the comparison, like Douglas, Wilcox, Sierra Vista, Patagonia, Bisbee. You're way lower than, you're half of what Phoenix charges. And many of these cities, I'm not quite sure which of them, but I know many of them only have 1 day a week pickup. So you charge a very competitive rate. And as I said earlier, it's a rate that hasn't been adjusted in almost 13 years. Next chart, please. Your customer base is almost entirely residential. You have about 3,867 customers, 3,779 of them are residential, and the city is in the process right now of divesting itself from its commercial customers. You don't have enough commercial customers to justify the investment necessary to serve your commercial base. Got to have a special truck, got to have people there. It just isn't worth it. And so it's better for you and more economical for you to divest those commercial customers, and private companies are more than happy to pick them up. Next slide, please. So what are the primary assumptions for the rate plan that we're presenting to you? First of all, we recommend no change at all in the 2 pickup per week policy. Again, like I said, that is becoming the exception rather than the rule here in the state of Arizona. Most of your expenses are anticipated to continue to increase. Any long-term financial plan has to consider the fact that costs are going to be higher tomorrow than they are today. And we also have to consider the fact that certain elements of your costs, like insurance and workers' comp and other factors like that, are going to go up at higher rates. The forecast does assume that you complete your elimination of your commercial accounts. But the key factor in this long-term rate plan is really twofold. One, you have to ensure that you recover all of your operating costs. And 2, you have to ensure that you're able to finance the replacement of trucks over the next decade. Like any asset, these trucks wear out over time. You got to replace them, and you've got to ensure that you have enough money in your fund to make those replacements when the time comes. Next chart, please. We're anticipating that you're going to continue to grow a little bit. Fairly modest growth each year, from 3,867 accounts to about 4,900 10 years from now. Any good financial plan is going to consider the fact that you're going to have more accounts tomorrow than you do today, because you've got a very robust community here and you're experiencing a nice level of growth, and that's taken into consideration. Next chart, please. Now, the truck replacements are assumed to be about $1.3 million over the next 10 years. As you can see, periodically the city is scheduled to do truck replacements, and these trucks go anywhere from $220,000 to $450,000. By spacing out the truck replacement, what that does is that minimizes the impact on your ratepayers. I think that's prudent financial policy. This also represents a reduction from what we presented to you a month ago. The senior staff was able to go back and revisit some of the assumptions and make a couple of adjustments, again, to the benefit of your ratepayers. Next chart, please. So we're still recommending that you implement a 5-year plan. A 5-year plan will gradually adjust your rates to ensure that your revenues recover all of your costs by the year 2025. You are right now recovering less than your costs in the sanitation fund. So prudent financial policy would require you to use some of the reserve funds you've built up over the last decade to underwrite your fund as you gradually adjust your rates. I mean, you could eliminate the deficit tomorrow, but it would require a much more significant rate increase. And that's something that would be excessively burdensome to a lot of your ratepayers. So a phased approach, which minimizes the need for adjustments on an annual basis, is better for household budgets because it allows households to gradually adjust their budgets to pay the higher fees. And it really does minimize the impact of the rate plan on the ratepayers. Next chart. These are your forecast costs over the next 10 years. As you can see, your total costs are expected to gradually increase from about 1.1 million to close to 1.2 million by the year 2027. Most of your costs are going to increase. And what we do is we establish what's called a truck replacement fund that you contribute about $130,000 a year. That builds up sort of like a savings account that you then use to cash purchase the trucks. In this era of probably rapidly increasing interest rates, it will be great if you can cash fund some of these trucks, because once again, that will also benefit your ratepayers. So we get the next slide, please. So what we recommend is as follows. We recommend that effective in July, you adjust your monthly fee from $16.33 to $17.64. That's an increase of $1.31 a month. We recommend similar adjustments for each of the next 3 years. $1.41 per month adjustment in 2023, $1.33 in 2024, $1.43 per month in 2025, and then a 65-cent a month adjustment in 2026. So ratepayers that are paying $16.33 today would gradually see their monthly bill go to $22.46 by 2026. Now, I don't generally like to use percentages because your rates are so low right now that any adjustment of any magnitude is going to, from a percentage standpoint, sound like a lot. This is actually, the adjustment would be an 8% adjustment in 2022, but it's only $1.31 a month. Now, the good news is that's less than what I told you a month ago. A month ago, the initial forecast was to call for a 12% adjustment. But once again, thanks to the review and the revision of some of the cost forecasts, we were able to take that down to 8%. That is a difference of about 50 to 60 cents a month for your average ratepayer. So the bottom line is that your residential ratepayers will see an adjustment of about $1.30 a month each year for the next 4 years under this plan. We would recommend that the ordinance have the rates in them, and that the rates go into effect automatically in July of each of the next 4 years. Next slide, please. So just to summarize, one of the primary reasons that we're recommending this rate plan is that while you've done an excellent job of keeping rates low for as long as possible, you've sort of reached the point now where you just can't do it any longer because your fund is starting to lose money. And so these adjustments will ensure that your fund returns to financial health. It will ensure that ratepayers are paying only what it costs to provide that service. It will eliminate any revenue shortfall within a couple of years. And very importantly, it's going to keep your rates at or below, not only significantly below the national average, but also below what most other customers here in the state of Arizona are paying. Because while your rates are going to go up, everybody else's rates are going to go up also. And so our projection is that your rates are going to continue to be among the lowest in the state. And the average impact would be $1.30 to $1.40 a month. It's never easy to ask ratepayers to pay more, but this rate plan will ensure financial health and the continuation of a very high quality of service for the citizens of Somerton. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
My question is, we're looking into eliminating the commercial, and that's one of the major issues of having a deficit. So we eliminate that, how our current revenues without the commercial part of revenue losses, how is that going to look? Are we still going to be with a deficit, or are we going to be breaking even? How does that work?
It helps. You'll still have a deficit. What will happen is when you eliminate the commercial accounts, you will reduce some of your expenses. You'll reduce some of your landfill fees. You'll also reduce the need to buy certain trucks to service the commercial accounts. But you'll also lose some revenue too. On the whole, it will be a benefit to the city. It does reduce the need for rate increases. Unfortunately, though, it just doesn't eliminate the need. It reduces but not eliminates the need for rate adjustments.
Vice Mayor.
Dan, what was on the other presentation, what were the amounts that we were looking to increase? I want to see the difference.
Could we go back to page, back 2 pages, please? No, this page. I'm sorry, that one. Okay. Under the current plan, it's $1.30 to $1.40 a month. Under the previous plan, in the first year, could you Yep. In the first year, it would be about $1.90 to $2. In the second year, it would be about $1.60. In the third year, about $1.60. The fourth year, about $1.60. And the fifth year, about $1.60. So the rate plan right now by 2026 is about $2.50 to $3 a month less than what we projected in May. And that again represents one of the big benefits is you're not buying those commercial oriented trucks anymore. And also, you're being as prudent as possible in the need for replacing those trucks your residential trucks over the next couple of years. So it's definitely a reduction in the need for an increase.
Okay, so we went from basically 260 to like about the 130, 131.
Yeah, about $2 a month in each of the first 3 years to about $1.30. So that saves about 70 cents a month each year. Over 3 years, that's about $2.10. And the fourth, fifth year add up about $2.50 to $3 a month. The monthly bill would have been about $25.50, if I recall correctly, last month by 2026. Now it's only $22.46.
And then was one of those trucks also a regular sanitation truck as well? That's what part of the rate decrease.
Because I know last time, let me see if I could elaborate a little bit. Last time there was how many waste trucks were there involved?
Yeah, it was the same, but including the commercial.
Yeah, but I know you had already ordered one that's already budgeted.
It is already removed, and that's why we only have the 200,000 for this fiscal year. Well, the 23. That is going to
For
be
the
approved.
upcoming.
And then the other one is going to be until 2024. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but this one's you already have funding for, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not in this projection.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, and see, and that's what I was trying to figure out, because I know this is a five-year plan, and to be honest with you, I did ask for some additional information last time in regards to. Can you scroll one page down, please, or up, I should say? Yeah, as far as operating, what was included in operating, because we see these as line items, but there's no detail.
Yeah.
And so I had asked and inquired about giving a little bit more detail to ensure that these costs are justified, because capital outlays, I'm looking at capital outlays. I mean, what would be exactly under capital outlays?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, quite honestly, at this point, I wouldn't mind going on a year-to-year basis until we're able to receive all this information to ensure that these line items and what's actually underneath there. And so I agree with you. Prices are going up, and there's a rate that definitely probably needs to be done. But in order for me to say, hey, yeah, year 2, 3, 4, and 5, let's go with it, I need to see a little bit more detail on this. But I mean, not to discredit anything that you're saying or doing, Dan, but it's just for peace of mind, because at the end of the day, we're the ones that have to hear and answer our community.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like the automatic every single year. I'd rather be able to discuss it on a yearly basis.
So if I may, I'd like to answer your questions with regards to capital outlay. That is usually equipment that needs replacement or repairs. Capital outlay could be essentially any rolling stock, any specific equipment needed. We're not sure that the 35 to 25,000 is needed every year. However, in order to be able to budget for those and be prepared to pay for any of those expenditures, we have to include them in our in this assessment. So with regards to operation, that includes personnel and utilities, payment of telephones, gasoline, it includes pretty much everything associated with that fund. And that should be very consistent. This is very consistent with my presentation of the sanitation utility fund.
Also, one other thing, if you take a look at 2022 and 2023, you see the operating and the landfill charges are actually less in 2023 than they were in 2022. That's the impact of eliminating the commercial accounts. So you do reap some financial benefit by doing that. Landfill costs go down because you're not taking as much stuff to the landfill. So there is definitely a financial benefit. Unfortunately, the other side of the coin is that you're also not getting the revenues from the commercial customers either.
Mayor?
Yeah, but revenues were probably minimal compared to what we were spending. So,
Mayor, another thing as far as the operation cost is obviously with older vehicles, there's more operational needs on those older vehicles, which at times is the hydraulic, which is usually the biggest problems with new vehicles. Obviously, you have less operational costs because it's brand new equipment. But we can give you the cost in terms of what is costing now. The only thing is going to be with new equipment, you might not have the total cost because that might be eliminated on some of the newer vehicles or equipment rather.
and you said that's in operating costs, not in capital outlays?
For some of the operations like hydraulic lines and how long the vehicle might be sitting still because of, usually it's the hydraulic and maybe the computers, which are not capital outlay when the items are worth $1,000, $2,000. More of the mechanical side, mechanics.
Capital what, more than 5? Capital outlay more than 5? 10?
To answer your question, yes. Anything that's over $5,000 and has a lifespan that exceeds 1 to 2 years, it goes in the capital outlay.
Mayor. Mine is more of a comment. I understand totally that, it's been a very long time since we haven't increased. The same happened to our water rates where, 10 years, totally, our oversight, our fault. But being a community that has a lot of senior citizens on a fixed income, I do think we have to look into other options as far as programs for them, setting a program for them, maybe similar to what San Luis has, to help them out. And I know it'll probably be more work for Sarina's department, but I don't know. I just think that even with this decrease of, the 130, 160, it still hits these seniors in the pocket. A lot of them, do live alone and again on a fixed income. So my suggestion is if we're going to go through with this increase, is look for other options for these residents.
Just by seeing at least our budget, our estimated revenues, it seems that at least what we have before the truck replacement fund, we do have a surplus until we put the 130,000 truck replacement fund a year. That's when you can see the deficit. So I guess that would be the change, just having the budgeting for future cost on replacing the trucks. So, Vice Mayor?
I forgot what I was saying. I drew a blank, sorry.
One thing I would like staff to look at when we had the recycling program, we looked at the model that Sedona had, and the model with the prisoners was working for us, but maybe that's probably something that, since we're looking at getting out of commercial, maybe that's something that we can look at. I don't know what Yuma does. I know I don't know if they get any revenue from the agreement they have with a private company, but maybe we can start looking at that model, like Vice Mayor said. We look at it year by year, maybe not do the whole, but maybe we can look at it next year, and at that time, if that's the case, maybe we can look to extend it to 4 years. But
Now I remember what I was going to say, because it could work the other way around too. The increases in materials and everything else is skyrocketing.
Yes.
We might be undercharging still. I don't know, but that's why I say that I'd rather tackle this on a yearly basis versus just saying, yeah, let's approve everything for the next 5 years.
Sure. The council certainly has the flexibility to implement a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 2-year plan, whatever you all feel most comfortable doing.
any other questions or comments?
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Mayor, if you don't mind, if I could indulge for just a second. As you all know, I've been your rate consultant for the last 25 years. As a very small token of my appreciation for all the confidence and faith the city has shown in me, I'd like to make a very minor donation to your library. A great, great book called Rainbow Bridge. It's a book that about the life of a man and the dogs in his life that have meant the most to him. And it answers the question that all people who have owned dogs have asked. And that is, do we get to be with our dogs again? Written by a guy named Dan Jackson. So anyway, Mayor, I'd like to present this to the library. And I hope all of you enjoy it.
Thank you.
And by an amazing coincidence, it's available on Amazon.com.
Brisa's gonna be the first one to read it.
Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you. Yeah. Is it signed?
No, actually, I forgot to sign it. I don't usually forget to do that.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's sold very well, isn't it?
Nice plug on the book.
Yeah, so when we bring it back, we'll discuss that 1-year option.
Well, we could approve the 1-year option.
It's
This
this is on a
new
presentation only. We'll bring it back
presentation.
next council meeting for a determination.
I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it read for approval.
Moving on to new business, discussion and possible action to approve any by authorizing the following changes, amending section 801 holidays.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. This agenda item is asking to establish a new city holiday for city employees known as Juneteenth, which is also known as Freedom Day or Jubilee Day or Liberation Day or Emancipation Day. This date is important because on June 19th, 1865, about 2 months after the Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered in Virginia, a Union general arrived in Galveston, Texas to inform enslaved African Americans of their freedom and that the Civil War had ended. So this put into effect the Emancipation Proclamation issued more than 2.5 years earlier by President Abraham Lincoln. And then Juneteenth was made a federal holiday by President Joe Biden on June 17, 2021. Other Arizona cities who have Juneteenth as a holiday include Scottsdale, Avondale, Goodyear, Phoenix, Sierra Vista, Tempe, Cottonwood, and Tolleson. Coincidentally, none of the Yuma County cities have established Juneteenth as a holiday. If Resolution 2022-005 is adopted by Mayor and Council, Juneteenth will become a paid city holiday beginning this year. As with other city holidays, when the 19th or Juneteenth falls on a weekend, if it falls on a Saturday, it will be observed on Friday. If it falls on Sunday, as it does this year, it will be observed on Monday. As a result, city offices will be closed for Juneteenth and on Monday, June 20th, 2022. Currently, there are 11 full-day holidays offered as a benefit to city employees and 2 half-day holidays. So if we add all those together, we have 12 total days of holiday pay. Listed on your agenda item report are the current holidays that we celebrate or that we observe. This is New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. birthday, President's Day, Cesar Chavez Day, Good Friday, which is a half day in the afternoon, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, the day after Thanksgiving, a half a day on Christmas Eve, if Christmas lands on a weekday, and Christmas Day. Personal Policy Handbook also states that there's other days as may be set by the City Council. For discussion, presentation, or consideration, is Mayor and Council can consider adding, deleting, or modifying city holidays as they see fit. As a comparison to some of the other cities and cities or the county and what they offer, I'll defer to the city manager to see what the other entities observe.
It's pretty much like the same. There was some minor changes on several few. I believe Yuma County has 12. Everyone else has 11. But also, it might not make a difference, but City of Yuma has every other week our Fridays off. They're working 4/10s, and then the City of San Luis are 4/10s pretty much all week long. Also, there was a survey that was sent out to look at which holiday which holiday would be to be removed if this would go through. There was some confusion in terms of the survey itself, but it was for Good Friday to be removed and keep Juneteenth or vice versa. But that's the survey that I believe I sent over this morning as well for your consideration to look at. So there's several options for mayor and council to look at, either add it with not removing any of the holidays, or possibly adding this holiday but removing maybe Good Friday, possibly another half day within that year, which the only other half day would be Christmas Eve.
Councilwoman?
I think, leaving it up to staff in the survey, what they decided as far as removing Good Friday and replacing it with Juneteenth, again, leaving it up to them to decide on what holiday they would rather do without. I think that would be my recommendation, the best choice.
Vice Mayor.
Mayor, when I first saw the agenda, there was no mentioning whatsoever about the survey, and it was only recently brought up was because one of the council members asked about these results, and that's what really bugs me the most, is the fact that they had done the survey and it was never even brought up or included in this in the packet. And if it's not up to us to ask or remember these things, I just feel that it goes ignored. And so I'm at a point where I feel that clear direction needs to be given. And for me, we either follow the state or we follow the federal. I mean, it's ridiculous that we have to request this information when it's already known that this information was part of the consideration. So if If we want to go with the federal, I'm okay with the federal. If we want to go with the state, we go with the state. All these holidays, even the ones that are not of, that have simply been in place by us or past councils, they have an economic impact. If you allocate a minimum wage, which is going to be $13.50 per employee, you're probably going to, all these holidays have a dollar value of over $100,000 at the minimum. So there is an economic impact. So again, you know, I'm at a point where I want to be fair with the employees, and whatever the state tells us that are holidays, I'm okay with. If you could choose to go with the federal government, then I'm okay with that as well. But all these other holidays that are not part of, for example, Christmas Eve. And again, it all has to do with the fact that we asked for something, and I feel that at times it's purposely left out. Whether they did it or not, that's only they know. But that's just the way. That's just the way that I feel. And so, in order to eliminate bad feelings from on my behalf, I feel that we need to go either with the state or federal government.
Will we have that information? What are the state holidays? What are the federal holidays? And how does that differ with what we currently have?
I think we have to take into consideration also our neighboring cities. You know, if we got to give and take some for staff too. You know, you said 11. The only difference is Yuma 12 and the rest of us are 11 or whatever. So I don't know. I just think we also need to look.
How many do we have?
Currently, we have 11 full days and 2 half days, Mayor, which makes it a total of 12 paid holidays.
And the other cities?
Let me open it up here. Let's see here. City of Yuma has New Year's, Martin Luther King, President's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, day after Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, additional day before or after a holiday, in lieu of Lincoln's birthday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 be the half days. They don't have Cesar Chavez. And then City of San Luis has New Year's, Martin Luther King, President's Day, Cesar Chavez Day, Memorial Day, Independence, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, and then Thursday and Thanksgiving, and December 25th.
So we're the only one that has half days for Good Friday and half day for Christmas, right?
Yes.
You know, Mayor, and another consideration for the council is some of these other cities and towns, especially the local ones, are offering a way more robust cost of living adjustment. For example, I'm not sure
neither here nor there.
And so this might be a way to consider as a benefit. It's a benefit to the employee at the end of the day. So
look, we're going to go around and round and round on this subject. We're going to start comparing job descriptions, job qualifications, education, and all that. So I'd rather not get into the middle of that. We're talking about holidays. Holidays, you guys were simply asked to do a survey, and you guys did not provide the survey until somebody asked. And that's what really bugs me and irritates me, is that the survey, either it was flawed and it should have been done again. If it can it comes out as, hey, we didn't like it, so therefore we're not going to include it. So I'm at a point where we discuss things and you guys feed us whatever you guys feel you guys want us to know. I mean, come on. We have enough common sense to be able to question stuff. And again, we're not legally mandated to provide some of these holidays, but yet we have. And I just feel that sometimes you guys just quite honestly try to take advantage of it.
Mayor,
Yes, Councilman.
I'm looking here at the county and they have 10 holidays and also a floating holiday. And that's any employee can take it at any time they want. You know, it's not just, Juneteenth or anything like that. But I mean, if they decide to take it at any other time, they can take it. So that's basically 11 there.
Any other questions or comments?
I think Ms. Sendejas has something to say.
Hi, you guys hear me?
Yes.
So I agree with Councilwoman Garcia. I think that the survey was out, and staff selected. We gave them the option, staff selected. So I recommend we just stay with Juneteenth and take off what staff elected, which was the half day for Good Friday. The survey was done, so I think we need to respect that. Yes, it was not part of our packet, which it should have been, in order for us to be able to make a sound judgment. But if this is what staff elected to do, then I think we need to respect what staff wants. And so staff elected to have Good Friday, the half day of Good Friday off, and replace it with Juneteenth, then I'm for that. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
No.
To me, it's tough because I understand Vice Mayor's frustration. It just we're to a point that we sometimes feel that we're between a rock and a hard place when we ask for information. And but we do not making out of Juneteenth or making it out of taking it in the tangent of just talking about, this is because we're not going to give and we still haven't discussed it, a salary, the cost of living like other cities. That to me is an argument that's a moot point when considering this. This is something that's going to stay, and I don't know if we're ready to make a decision now. We asked we asked for the information, and yeah, we did get it, but I sense that council is divided on this. But Vice Mayor,
if they want to observe Juneteenth, I would be agreeable to getting rid of half day Christmas Eve and Good Friday, but let it be known that they could use PTO for those particular days. I mean, it's just this will be a 12th. You're averaging one month a day on vacation. So I'm willing to compromise that and still give the options to all employees to use PTO for those 2 days, which is half days.
any other questions or comments?
I think if you're talking about, considering federal holidays or non-holidays observed by the federal government, then Cesar Chavez would be out. That's not a federal holiday.
that's
Cesar
what-
Chavez and because do you take full or half day?
But that wasn't his remark here towards the end. He only said that he would compromise those 2 half days.
Those 2 half
Half
days.
days for a full day.
Cesar
Cesar
Chavez.
Chavez, do we get it? Did the city is a whole day?
You just leave it there.
Okay.
Leave it there.
And that's not being touched. And the other 2 days they could use PTO.
Yeah, I'm gonna entertain a motion.
That would be my motion, Mayor.
So a motion by Vice Mayor Villalpando. Is there a second? I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nate,
So do I entertain another motion?
No,
So it doesn't
there's
pass?
There's only 2 nays.
Okay.
1 nay.
There was a motion and a second,
2 nays.
and if no one says if there's no other
Two nays.
comments,
Sendejas probably said, eh, no?
I don't know. I don't know what she-
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't know. what she
Ms.
said.
Ms. Sendejas?
I tried to respond. It's a nay from me.
Okay.
What's
Go ahead, Roldan.
your vote, Mr.
Nay.
Nay.
Nay?
So it doesn't go through.
I'll make a motion to approve the Juneteenth and take off the Good Friday as staff requested on the service.
The motion was to, if I understand right, the motion is to approve Juneteenth and remove Good Friday. Is that what I understood?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
second.
So motion by Councilwoman Sendejas. Second by Councilwoman Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Aye.
Okay, summary of current events. Let me.
Sorry, Mayor. Get on my phone here. Just for informing the public, City of Somerton Public Works will be working on several sidewalks that are starting to buckle from the heat. Right now, we know for a fact there's about 4 of them, but they will be working in different neighborhoods. So be careful out there. They're going to be out there removing sidewalks as well. The City of Somerton is also a water station, as the heat is heat already. If people need to come down and drink some water and cool off, they can come down to City Hall and drink some water or cool down on our lobby. The City of Somerton, Somerton School District will be having their annual promotion ceremony on Tuesday, May 24th. If council has been invited, so if you'll be attending, please let Andrea know. That way we can make appropriate accommodations for mayor and council.
I have a quick question on your cooling station. I know PD used to be 1, 2, or am I wrong?
Yeah,
Because I remember-
Yuma County hasn't sent out the whole list. At all.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yuma County said in
Yes, and
little packets.
with all cooling stations. Okay.
Also, I just received COVID-19 early warnings. We're still a level of concern 1, which is great news. So that has leveled off considerably. Carmen Juarez, Community Development. I don't know if she's on the phone or not. Was very ill this morning, so she went home. Yuma County Census Committee. The committee met on April 26th, and attending this meeting was Scott Wilkin from the Maricopa Association of Governments to explain why Maricopa County decided to form this committee to review and analyze the annual population estimates, building permits and completions, and how they work closely with the Census Bureau and the Office of State Demographer to ensure that every decennial census count does not undercount their county. Yuma County's Census Committee is analyzing the possibility of presenting the option to create a similar committee to our council for their consideration. Valle del Sol Phase 3 final subdivision inspection was conducted and a punch list created for the developer to finalize within a specific time frame. A conditional letter of a subdivision acceptance was issued on April 27th. New project last week, the department received the construction plans for an RV park to be potentially located east of the golf course. The construction of a car wash at Main Street and at Bingham Avenue is underway. Obviously, it's really close, so they're underway. And also one more item that Marlene is actually working on. I don't know if she had it on her presentation, but Desert Memorial or Desert Valley Somerton Cemetery turned in their plat. So we'll City of Somerton will have a cemetery very soon. And great job, Marlene, on that. Chief Deanda.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. Only two real points. So one is we have a 21-year veteran. He's retiring, so he'll be gone in June. We'll be promoting into his position. So we've started the testing process for those that are trying for the fire engineer position. As far as the surges we've been having with the migrants, we actually had a real busy weekend. We had 4 different responses to that area. We transported 5 different patients, had 1 DOA. I went back over the last year. We've had 3 DOAs in the area, 1 female and 2 males so far. And so it looks like the migrants are getting antsy because Title 41, they don't know if it's going away or it's not. So they're figuring we're going to cross anyway. And so Regional Center for Border Health has been dealing with this on a big level. And just so when the public reaches out to you, so you can explain why Amanda Aguirre is doing what she's doing, is she's protecting the community. Because if she wasn't shipping them out, they'd be all over town. Okay, so people wonder, well, why are they going through all this? Well, because you have a choice. They could be wandering around town and you could be feeding them and giving them water and housing them, or we can get them to where they're going, and then that lessens the impact on the community. And so really, Regional Center for Border Health, it really should be applauded for what they're doing. Thank you.
Chief Juarez.
Mayor and Council, good evening. So sometime this week, I'll be meeting with U.S. Senator Mark Kelly and his staff. Friday the 20th, we'll be discussing a little bit more about what Fire Chief Deanda covered, security, border security, Title 42, and public safety issues impacting Yuma and Somerton. We're also working on the evaluations for the rest of the staff to make sure they're complete at the end of the month, working on updating their training room along with Fire Chief Deanda. This Saturday for National Police Week, there's going to be an event at the Speedway. Everybody's invited. I don't have the time that it starts, but it'll be this Friday. They're going to be doing some sort of friendly competition racing among all the law enforcement agencies, and representing us will be Detective Celaya. He's one of our best drivers. Command staff will be receiving training for use of force reporting to the FBI beginning this year according to Arizona statute. Thank you.
Finance.
Good evening, Mayor, Council members. Well, right now I'm working on all the preparations for the tax levy, the public hearings, the public notices, finalizing the remainder of the budget for our next work sessions, as well as working on our utility billing and our audits. You'll also be seeing a presentation on our financials from our auditors in the next council meeting. And I believe that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Mesa.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. On Thursday, May 12, we met alongside the Parks and Rec Commission to recognize local artists that did live painting in the Art Fest. That was a nice ceremony and recognition to them and appreciation. Also, it was a low budget, high impact type project, been hugely requested by the community for a long time. It was past due. We striped the court last week for volleyball, basketball, and that's part of our further improvements of the community center and gym area in preparation for summer 2022 activities. Also, the Desert Valley Senior Center received a $500 donation for their senior programs that is mostly used for the trip and travel expenses for Las Vegas. Also, just want to add to my list per contractor. He mentioned that the skate park for Joe Munoz, the new skate park for the South, will be fully completed by next week, the week of May 23rd. Thank you.
HR, Armando.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members. Currently, we have open positions for the city, part-time administrative specialist position in the finance area, firefighter, EMTs, full-time and part-time, firefighter, paramedic, full-time and part-time. We're still recruiting for a police officer as well. For the water operator apprentice, I did have it as open positions. However, we just concluded the interview process and selected 2 candidates to fill those positions. So hopefully those will be finalized by tomorrow as we make offers of employment. We also have 911 emergency dispatcher open, court clerk 2, and billing specialist as well.
Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. An update on our Valley Vista Water Main Extension project. Contractor continues with the construction of the air relief valves manholes. The only pending items on this project will be the main drain crossing, in which contractor is working on the foundation, design foundations for this. Hopefully, they will begin next week on the foundation of the main drain crossing and the water connection with the Valley Vista water system. Hopefully, this project will be completed in the next 3 weeks. The South Somerton Drainage Project, the Yuma County project, all the pavement replacement has been completed, and the storm drain lift station will be completed next week. Yuma County has scheduled a final walkthrough for next week. The 1 million gallon water tank project, rehabilitation project, contractor started this project yesterday, so project is moving forward. The F1/4 or the water, high school water main extension project, this project is also 100% completed. Yuma Valley completed this project last week. North Union Avenue, a street reconstruction project, contractor will pave tomorrow, and with this, the project should be completed next week. National Public Works Week is this week. Council is invited to attend our Public Works Fair tomorrow here on State Avenue between Main and Spring. We will be displaying our new equipment and as well as educating the public about our services.
What time is it?
From 8 to 3.
Economic Development.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council members. This weekend, we are attending Mayor, City Manager Jerry, and myself, the ISC 2022 conference to promote our city and have conversations with investors, developers, and retailers of interest and need for our community. As you noticed, I left a little bag for you. It is a charging station, and it's a business card with a QR code. This is what we will be using to promote our businesses. This QR code is going to be fully working by Friday. We're hoping to push it on Thursday. So when you scan the QR code, you're going to be able to see what we have available for the city, which is Parkview Commerce Center, the parcels available, and the property across the street. And you will also get a bio and exactly where we are located so we can push our properties. Second, we have this year is the International Year of the Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture 2022. In this spirit, the Festival Regional de la Pesca y la Acuacultura Artesana Sonora 2022 will be celebrated June 7th, 8th, and 9th. I do have a special invitation for Mayor and Council members on behalf of Doctora Nélida Barajas Acosta, Executive Director of CEDO. On behalf of her, I extend the invitation to Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Manager, and our City of Somerton staff, as was expressed by Dr. Nélida. The City of Puerto Peñasco would like to revisit the Sister Cities Agreement to revitalize our working relationship. Mayor Anaya is invited to sign a new Sister Cities Agreement with Puerto Peñasco. It is it is a very high probability Sonora Governor Honorable Alfonso Durazo will be in attendance and will be serving as an honorable witness in this ceremony. I myself also received an invitation to participate in a panel at the festival to speak on our city's assets and superb community as a representative of the Forefront ED leader of the Tourism Committee. And this also serves as a very exciting opportunity because we are having conversations of having an event here in the city of Somerton, which would be catered to tourism in terms of the Puerto Peñasco Ayuntamiento are interested in bringing a gastronomy event here at the city of Somerton in collaboration with us. Number 3, as city manager Jerry said, tomorrow I do have a meeting at 9:30 a.m. with Cesar Dominguez from Desert Valley Mortuary. He did submit his plans today, this morning. If you have any commentary that you would like for me to take back, would gladly do so. And I believe I had already mentioned that I emailed an RFP for parcel number 6 for a possible hotel. So that's it.
Parcel number 6 at the cemetery. I was like, oh.
Mayor, that concludes.
Councilwoman Sendejas.
Hi, everybody. I've only seen Susan, so thank you for the opportunity to speak. I attended the Helado Fest, and it was a great event. Kudos to Lisa and all the staff. They did an amazing job. I helped to sell tickets, and oh my gosh, the line there, you have to help me because it was just crazy. And so I think it was a great event. It was her idea that was mayor. I think it was, or somebody's idea. It was a great event. So I hope to see it more every year. I did have some questions on the budget that was given and then the breakdown. But Jerry, city manager, I will call you on that and see how you can explain it a little bit more to me. I also attended the Fallen Police Officer Memorial this past Sunday, and I want to congratulate Chief Juarez for being selected to receive the flag and laying it, and it was very emotional. This is my second year that I go, and it's a great event that I think it's the union or one of the organizations put this on every year in Yuma. So congratulations to Juarez and for being selected. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Garcia.
I also had the opportunity to attend and work the Chelada Festival. I thought it was a great event as well. Kudos to Brisa, park staff, Rodney. Since before I got there, Rodney was there and was the last one to leave. So, kudos to Rodney. I don't know how he does it. I was also able to attend the memorial service for fallen officers this Sunday. I think if you guys have a chance to go, it's on a yearly basis. It's a great opportunity to give, I guess, remembrance to those that have fallen in the line of duty and also recognize our, officers that are there. We had our first pulguita this Saturday. Was pretty hot. We had just one vendor leave a little bit earlier because it was too hot for them. But overall, vendors were happy. They sold, one vendor completely sold out. We had a total of 30 vendors. So they're eager for one next month. So I'm going to talk to city manager and see if maybe we can do an evening one instead of morning. And see how that one works. But I think overall it went well, and people were happy with it. That's all I have.
Councilman Roldan.
This is the first year in a while that the City of Somerton will be sending the 15 teams for the state tournament in the baseball division for all the way from 8U all the way to 14. It's been many years that I've not seen that, and I think looking at the the material that we're sending, it looked like, you know, we might bring some state champs to, back to the city like, you know, before. As soon as you're going with the seniors to Las Vegas, dude, don't ask them where they want to eat. The ones, and it was a chaos.
So is it those teams that the league that was here?
Yeah, there's all the teams participate in the current league. So they got the 8U division, they got 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U, 13U, and then 14U. So these kids from time that we presented well, and hopefully state champs.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, at this time, I want to request either updates or items for the next agenda that include the time clock situation and also the vehicle take-home policy. We've been kicking that can for the last year or so, and so it's time. I mean, there has to be. We have to put some deadlines on this, and the other thing too is if we could have the policy in regards to the working hours for both hourly and also exempt employees. Thank you.
And I want to thank staff for the Chelada Fest. It was a good first event, and it's only going to get better. So it was a good event. On Friday, I'm going to meet with Senator Kelly. He's coming and to Yuma. He's going to meet with the mayors. So I want to ask staff, especially public safety, to just email me, some any items of discussion you want me to bring up. And okay, yeah. So at 11 or okay. So yeah. So I'll have you guys there then. You do the talking, Paul. And like Marlene said, we're gonna be at the conference, at the retail conference. So hopefully we can talk to a lot of prospective investors and bring something to Somerton. Is there a motion to adjourn into executive session? We have three executive. Well, we have three items. It's legal advice with the Somerton City Attorney relating to operations of the Cocopah Rio Salado Golf Course, a facility owned by the Cocopah Indian Tribe and Indian Reservation located within our adjacent city. Legal advice with the Somerton City Attorney relating to resolve litigation involving Yuma County Intergovernmental Public Transportation Authority and member contributions. And the third item is consult with City Attorney and staff concerning negotiations for the purchase, sale, or lease for real property located 1298 West Main Street, Somerton, Arizona, Parkview Commerce Center, consisting of 20 acres more or less. A motion to adjourn to executive session. Motion by Councilwoman Garcia, second by Councilman Roldan. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.